Welcome to the King of Swings, and this is how to practice in an hour. Welcome everybody to our first practice session together. Today we're starting off with the gap wedge. I've already gone through my quick stretch and lob wedge routine, where I go about half swings just to get my tempo down, making sure I'm getting through the ball as purely as possible. With the gap wedge, I try to hit this shot anywhere from about 115 to about 130. And I'm trying to maintain good, strong balance, along with a nice, easy tempo through the golf ball, making sure that I have a consistent pace for the rest of my practice round. One of the best ways to practice in an hour is to make sure you segment off your shots. Don't put any more than 10 balls at a time between each club. Next club is the 9-iron. My goal here is to work between 155 and about 170, depending on how far I can push it. I want to work on making sure that I maintain my consistent pace that I established with the wedge, while also adding a little bit of pace as I start to swing longer clubs and start to add more distance to my clubs. Right here, the ball is two forward in my stance. I'm coming around it. I have not made the adjustment here in this set of balls, but I do have a fix coming up for when you get into that position. With the 8-iron, I have my alignment sticks out to help me set up better, and one is to help me aim at my target and maintain my hands, and the other is to make sure that I don't end up with the ball so forward. And of course, on my first swing, I promptly chunk it because I slowed down and did not get to that ball position fast enough. I have to make sure that I release the hands a little sooner and accelerate down to the ball, so that way I can pure it just like that one. When I hit my 8-iron, it's one of my favorite clubs to hit, anywhere from about 170 to about 180, depending on the type of shot I have, what kind of approach I have into the green. This is one of my most consistent clubs, and I try to maintain a nice quick pace with it as I accelerate down through the ball. It's been such a huge help for me. If I hit driver off the tee, I usually get between somewhere in an 8-iron to a 6-iron, and this allows me to really be consistent in my approach shots, and I just absolutely love this club. And once I made that adjustment, I start puring them. I usually go for about 5 to 10 shots here with this club, since it is one of my main clubs that I hit on the course, and it's just so much fun. Next up is my 6-iron, working on that range that I usually end up with. You can go 7-iron after the 8-iron. I like to go evens, so I went gap 8-6, or I can throw the 9-iron in there if I need practice with that club. The 6-iron here, as I adjust the new forward ball position and the longer club as I start to lengthen out my swing, I really have to focus. One of the things I like to do is to think about getting my right shoulder under my chin before I start to move forward. That helps me know that I got my club back far enough and that I'm going to come down through the ball as best I can. With the longer irons, you want to make sure you start to lengthen out that swing. And of course, you always have to check the time to make sure that you're not going to get in trouble with the wifey. Now that that's all settled, I push back through to get my shoulder underneath my chin, and I'll accelerate through this ball here. Bang. Just kidding. That was terrible. Don't do that. But that's the part of practice that we all enjoy, is that once you get that feeling of bad, how quickly can you get back to good? Those recoveries really are important, especially when you get onto the course. And there it is. We're back. The quicker you can get back, the better. And so making sure that you have good recovery here on the range is important, because you can carry that into the round. Of course, the next step after that is to ponder life and its meaning. Now that you've decided to stay good, let's try it again. Here we go. Bang. Feeling good. We've definitely recovered. And now we're going to move on to the 5 iron. The 5 iron is my bread and my butter. When I try to score, I hit my 5. Anything off the tee under 400, 5 iron, 5 iron. It's just, I'm so comfortable with it that it just makes it so easy for me to trust the club. And I know what it's going to do every single time. And so I'm able to swing it hard. I'm able to swing it with, to shape the club, shape the ball. I'm able to do so many things with this club. It makes it so versatile, especially on par 5s, long par 4s, short par 4s, and anything in between. I love my 5 iron so much. It's also the top iron I have in my bag, and it goes anywhere from about 215 to 230 depending if I'm on the tee or in a very nice fairway line. Making sure that I pure this every single time is very important for my psyche, as this club transitions me into my woods. And as long as I get a good swing here with my 5 iron, I generally have a good swing with my woods, and I can then start to trust them off the tee. An old rusty trusty 5 gets replaced with the comfortable 8. So the more often I can strike the ball pure with this, the better it is for my game, and I am absolutely driving it today, which leads to a great hybrid round with my guy in the background. Shout out to that guy. I wish I would have caught his name so I could shout him out for real. But after watching a couple, man, he was impressed. And that makes you feel good when you're on the range and somebody's like, wow, look at that guy. Pure the first one, obviously about 260, right down the middle. Thank you, Mr. Matt, for making me a great hybrid hitter. Let's listen to what this guy has to say.
Damn, that's farther than I can hit my driver. Nice.
This might have been the best one I've ever hit.
Looking good.
Thank you.
After you receive a compliment like that, it's just best to pure one more and then switch to the last bit of your practice round, which is to make sure you get those wedge shots down and pure those lobs, because the dough is made around the green. Thank you, Kings out.